I just have to do my exercises. It's important to keep up with. Yeah, we change radically from film to film. I mean, I think Lars has always changed in his films. Always pushing new ground. It's harder for a photographer to do that officially because cinematographers work in allegiance and alliance with directors, and if you don't have a group of people around you who want to do that, then as a cinematographer you have to conform or comply with your associates' desires. And if I'm working with a director who doesn't want to lift the stone up and change things and play around, then I won't be able to. Or if I do, I'd be going across his path and I'd probably be fired. The thing about Lars is he's not the only one, but he's a very good example of a director who is interested in demanding a great deal of his recruits, his troops, and pushing film language, always. You can't find a film he hasn't done that. And this is provocative in many ways, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be there, and it encourages me to be naughty or play around or do things differently. One of my theories is that he gets closer to his actors. That's one of the privileges we have as DOPs and still have. I kind of still feel I'm close to the actors anyway because I'm looking through the lens. So I don't really understand why he doesn't feel close to his actors looking through the lens while I'm operating, but that's his feeling, that he gets closer, and he can actually, as you see, if you see any of these incidents on film, he does actually direct while shooting and risks ruining the material, but he's directing and prompting and guiding early on in the takes just to get the scene to settle in and get the actors to settle into the kind of choreography of the scene, dramatically speaking. And he could do that beside me, but in a way he's comfortable holding the camera and doing it at the same time, and we kind of support each other. And if I think it's appalling, or if I think it's a problem, or if he's tired, or if we just want to do things differently, I'll come in. And I think on this film I actually think we're about 50-50 almost, if you take everything into account. I think whereas on Dogville he did quite a bit more. But anyway, that's the deal, and that's his kind of idea, amongst other things. Ask him if it's about anything else. I'm used to working, kind of giving areas of my official responsibility. I'm used to giving creative license out to people around me, and in that sense, as far as my own official division of labour is concerned, he's an operator. But operators normally do exactly and precisely what you tell them to do. And that's the interesting thing here, which I find quite provocative but quite interesting. We ultimately do, I think, generally what pleases each other, but I don't immediately assume that by asking him to do something he would do it. He'll follow his own route, and I'll watch him and I'll try and understand intuitively what he's trying to do. And then I'll try and inspire him, encourage him, and help him. That's my kind of deal. The second time around, this time around on Manderlay, I think personally it's a lot better, not because it's prettier or anything like that. I just think it seems to work better on all levels. I didn't feel dissatisfied about what happened on Dogville, but I just think Dogville was the beginning of a learning curve, and it is an odd way to work. It's an interesting way to work, and you've got like an amazing amount of high standard professional people behind me and in front of me, kind of specialists working in their own areas, but across cut from what they normally do. It's just different. They have to think differently, and I think that's creative and provocative and inspiring. And that was more difficult first time around. Now we're more prepared for it, but it's still demanding and interesting and different. Everything's like a journey. It's a path, and it's your discipline increases maybe. Your awareness increases, your knowledge increases, your wisdom, cinematic wisdom, improves, and maybe, the more films I do, the more peace I kind of get within myself, despite the pressure and the noise, and the work going around you. You have to keep calm. You have to maintain some kind of mental intelligence surrounded by chaos. That's our job, and that gets easier and easier the more films you do. But as I say, for him, working with him is a gateway into a new domain every time. And even though this is part 2 of a trilogy, things are developing.